Attention, for the Press Corps, I'm Geoffrey Jennings. We interrupt this broadcast to bring you the latest news from the Siva Valley conflict. Here in the 132nd World Conquest of the War in Raqqa, it's midnight, day 9. The 131st ceasefire has collapsed in dramatic fashion as the 132nd conflict is officially underway, starting just over a week ago. The 132nd has expanded in scope to include regions west of Siva and east of Veli, opening up new fronts for what could potentially be the biggest and bloodiest war we have seen in quite some time. Additionally, both the Massilian Republic and the Nevish-aligned country of Siva have threatened to deploy their air forces, the Colonial Aeronautics Corps, and the Warden-based Alliance Sky Brigade. This will be the first time we have seen concerted air power in the Siva Valley conflict zone, and observers are fearing a drastic escalation in what is likely to be a new era of combined arms warfare. Reminder that the Press Corps is focused on the Able Shard. Taking a look at information from the Press Corps Casualty Office, circa day 8, so this information about a day old here. Total combined casualties 233. That's combined dead between the two factions. The deadliest region is King's Cage at 16,812 combined dead, followed by Deadlands, the Deadlands at 16,224 combined dead. Both of those regions coming from the Deadlands in the central regions and King's Cage in West Central. By comparison, the bloodiest war in the history of Foxhole is War 126 at a combined 8.82 million combined dead. And the total deaths around that same time as right now is 105,123. So right now we have 196,000 dead, combined dead, compared to 105,000 from the same time back in War 126. So it's about give or take a 90% increase in total deaths, and that is already on pace to be beaten here in War 132. Two reasons for this that we can speculate for. First of all, is increased combat with new regions, new fronts in the northwest and the southeast, as well as the island regions, all being contested at the start of this war. All of the island regions were contested, cut in half, and what that means plenty of combat with plenty of chances and opportunities for troops to deploy to those contested regions, and as such, plenty more fighting. Second reason here for the increased casualty count is the promise of air power attracting a number of soldiers here for this conflict, bringing in massive recruitment of new troops eager to take part in a big war and hopefully even fly a plane, as well as a call-up of grizzled veterans returning to the front lines for the first time in some time. Taking a look at the map, the Wardens have taken the initiative in the Northwestern Front, with both Pari Peak and the Gutter on lockdown, the first regional lockdowns of the war that we can see here right now. The last colonial holdout in the Gutter was Salaoha Road Relic Base in the region's southwest, but that fell approximately, give or take, 30 minutes ago. And now we are seeing serious incursions into Palatine Burn from the north, from Pari Peak. Two relic bases under Look and Dryfield. Both of those relic bases captured by the Wardens, effectively cutting off the region of Olavi's Wake. The region of Olavi's Wake is green technically, but we are seeing those border incursions from Pari Peak, although Kali's holding them off for the moment being at El Mari Bridge. If the Wardens make it further encroaches into Olavi's Wake, the Colonials are expected to hold out at the very least at Koskinla. Hopefully I'm saying that right, Koskinla. the city of Coquitlam in the west there. It is a it is an island city, but it does have two bridge connections. Still, there's going to be tough fights. Technically, three bridge connections if you count the railway bridge there. Additionally, Cosquinla is a logistics hub with two shipyards, a factory, and a mass production factory, and large urban centers for combat. So even if the Wardens do manage to stomp through the Northwestern front, collies are expected to at least hold out in key cities for at least a good while here in the early war. In the west central front, Pharaonic Coast specifically, fierce fighting in the middle thirds of the region as trench lines uh, take over reaping fields and carry-on fields there, the flat land between uh, Terra and Husk Hollow. The Colonials had actually managed to take the Terra relic base, but the Warnens quickly retook it. So now it is traditionally, as it usually is, cut through the center. Collies at Husk Hollow and Wardens at Terra. Additionally, Collies holding on to the Apollo's Landing suburb outside of Jade Cove across the parallel bridges there. The safe house is reporting green in Apollo's Landing and not much fighting, at least compared to what is happening in the center. In the central regions, collies are gaining ground despite fierce fighting, managing to capture not just Abandoned Ward, the crown jewel of the Deadlands there, but also the Spine, as well as Iron's End and Salt March relic bases. This leaves Callahan's Gate as the remaining blue town in the region. Fighting is currently centered around a ravine between Iron's End and Cal's Gate. Deadlands has historically gone full green during the early war phase. We can actually confirm the presence of a Warden bunker base between Iron's End and Cal's Gate. We can confirm that because collies are very close to it. Approximately, we're getting reports of 50 meters, the front line from the tip of the fighting to that Warden relic base. So that is basically the halfway point between the colonial advance and or the tip of the spear for the colonial advance towards Cal's Gate, that last vestige in the Deadlands before the collies can lock it down. In Drowned Vale, we have a fresh report here that the collies have locked down their first regional lockdown of the war. Loggerhead, the last warden holdout at Loggerhead, has just been captured by the collies sometime in the past 15 minutes or so. There's going to be a good springboard for them into Claustra, which they do have had, and Lockheed, so they can focus on those fronts. But we can report Drowned Vale is now full green. In the east central regions, as we were just discussing, the Claustra, Colonials have taken the Treasury, beginning a grueling bridge battle that's likely to last on both ends, as well as East Narthex, as numbers swell between the halfway point of East Narthex and Weep Home, the presence of a uh, colonial forces, about halfway there, that kind of fork in the road, those three-way juncture, as fighting over a Warden relic base continues. In Endless Shore, the Wardens began the war with Saltbrook Channel in their hands and managed to maneuver to take Wellchurch initially. However, the Colonials countered by taking Enduring Wake and then eventually Wellchurch. So as of right now, as of this report, uh, Colonials hold Enduring Wake and Wellchurch and have eliminated a Warden relic base at Battered Landing. So now we have reports of fresh combat outside of Liege Hearth, which is the Warden, the suburb on the southern half of Saltbrook Channel. But as of right now, Wardens do have confidence in holding the southern half of Saltbrook Channel, as both safe houses are blue, and we have reports that Colonials have not managed to pierce the outer defenses of the town. And even then, if the collies manage to break through and take the southern half of Saltbrook Channel, the Wardens are still expected to hold onto it, owing to the parallel bridges, giving them plenty of opportunity for counterattack as well as holding out. But still, collies making good progress in the middle thirds so far. In the southeastern front, interesting developments here. Wardens managed to capture Garyon Slip in the first week of fighting, first 7 in-game days of fighting, and have pushed southward with defenses and encroachment, and heavy fighting now outside of the colonial relic base of Toad's Plinth in the southeastern corner of the region. So we are edging towards a Warden lockdown here in the southeastern front, as collies are on the back foot, potentially about to lose Toad's Plinth in the next half hour or so, real time. If the Wardens can take Toad's Plinth, they have good position to encroach on Scallyhold, the town of Scallyhold, in the region's southwest. Meanwhile, in Tyrant Foothills, about 20 minutes ago, give or take, fierce fighting, close quarters, heavy urban combat in the Victory Point city of Lugria. Hope I'm saying that correctly. Hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. But the Wardens did hold that town, did hold that city, but were ejected after intense colonial fighting as grenadier rushes managed to destroy the town base, managed to almost surround the town base from 3 sides, from the west, south, and the southeast. But eventually, collies overran the position, and the Wardens were promptly ejected. Wardens, however, not completely routed from the region, as they still have the Northern Skyhold Relic Base as their last remaining hard point, but reports that there are plenty of defenses between there and the front line, as colonials are also reporting continued fighting, potential retaking, or rather potential counterattack here opening up at Lugria, as Wardens have a tenuous hold of the northeastern safe house at Lugria. Not officially a capture, but Warden presence in that south and the husk of that safe house. Meanwhile, looking at the other half of the Tyrant Footholds region, some tenuous holding, some open holding there of the middle and the southeastern corners of the town of the open territory there outside of Scrape Grace Relic Base, which the collies do technically hold, but not too much of the territory surrounding it. So we will see just how far this kind of yin-yang movement moves at Tyrant Foothills, but very interesting developments here in the southeast. Finally, in the island regions, as we reported earlier, many of these regions, almost all of these regions, were split in half, as they often are in at the start of the wars. But again, providing lots of combat providing plenty of opportunities for troops to deploy to these technically contested regions, even though not a lot of land connection, or almost no land connection between the islands. Looking at Orebreaker Isles, Wardens hold Gold, Grizzly Refuge, and Conclave. Meanwhile, the Colonials holding the central island of Silver, the Silver Relic Base, and its observation tower. Very important for shipping lanes and maneuvering for the rest of the region, as well as the other southeastern regions that we did not mention with the Warden capture. In Fisherman's Row, collies taking Idolo and Peripti landing in the central landmass and fighting encroachment into Blackwell. The Warden, currently, as of this currently reporting, Wardens do hold Blackwell, but fighting at or just outside their town base across the road from colonial infantry attacks. If the Wardens do lose Blackwell, they will still have, at least for the moment, Ocean Watch and Fort Ember town bases on separate islands. Moving across the other island regions in the east, at Tempest Island, Colonials still holding out at Liar's Haven in the southeastern central landmass of Tempest Island, and the Wardens busy taking advantage of establishing the defenses there, having taken Surge Gates, the Iris, and the Gale. We'll see how long the collies can hold out at Liar's Haven, kind of an inverse Tempest Island situation here. If the collies do lose their position at Liar's Haven, they will still have Planetside Town base and Black Watch relic base in the east. Finally, in a new region here, Lycos, I hope I'm saying that right, Lycos Isle, kind of a broken front line as wardens have positioned at Erebus Islet and Aether Wood, separate positions there. Meanwhile, the Colonials hold Astatia, relic base in the northeast, and Martidia in the southwest. We're going to work on these pronunciations. Most importantly, the Colonials do hold on to the central mountain island of Cyrus, a very large mountain there in that central landmass. So we will see how the Wardens will approach that city of Cyrus, which has multiple things going for it. It's got kind of a bridgehead too. If the collies manage to lose that, that's where their seaport is and their shipyard is. So potentially the Wardens could take that kind of separated couple of structures, or they could just attack the town base proper. Very interesting tactical opportunities for attackers to take that city. But that is all the information that we have on the map so far. If you've got stories to share, please share them at the PressCorps Discord, PressCorps World Headquarters below. You'll find links on the Twitch profile beneath this live broadcast, or through the PressCorps YouTube channel as well. If you're watching this on YouTube, you can find that link in the description as well as on our profile. Additionally, we have an agreement here, a very lovely agreement with Robert Loves Games. In his Discord channel, you can find a text channel called War 132 Summary, War 132 Summary, where you can submit your stories to that text channel on Robert's Discord, and we can read those live on the air with credit given. So thank you to Robert Loves Games for his kind of partnership in getting more stories, more news onto the airwaves here with the PressCorps. We very much appreciate it. Well, that's about all we have time for. We'll see you at the next broadcast. We'll say about 10 minutes here, probably more map updates so far, potentially other frontline updates. We were showcasing frontline updates of live frontline reporting earlier, several hours ago, several in-game days ago, and that was very much exciting. So we will see how we do here as War 132 continues, a bloody war, poised to be the biggest and bloodiest war so far, and we haven't even seen, we're so far from planes, it's all ground war here, and ground and sea. For the PressCorps, I'm Geoffrey Jennings.
The PressCorps is an all-volunteer creative collective of reporters, broadcasters, artists, and more from the MMO video game Foxhole, developed by Siege Camp. Our mission is to engross our audience in and amplify the stories of this unique war ecosystem. The PressCorps was founded in 2018 by former Planetside 2 Radio Free Auraxis host, CaptainInArms. It is a separate community entity and is not officially representative of Siege Camp. For more information, visit our website at PressCorpsGaming.com. That's PressCorps Gaming.com.